Alright, tape is rolling, boys and girls. Getting ready to go live.
If I can ever find OBS. Tap, 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 tap. Tap row. I know, it's like 150 fucking programs open. Let's stand between us if you're gonna play.
Tick tock, tick tock.
Between us.
I'm testing, that's all. Just testing.
Want a Led Zepp sandwich?
Mayonnaise, lots of mayonnaise.
Fine.
Da, 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 da.
Alrighty, quiet on the set. Getting ready to go live. Radio?
I'm already live. What are you talking about?
Radio.
Check his pulse, man.
Quiet on the set. You're listening to WRFB Radio Free Britannia, and no other freaking better place in the world than Deltona, Florida. Here you are, lunch with no other than the dynamic duo Laz and
And greetings, everybody. This is Laz.
And this is Jack. Welcome to another edition of Lunch with Laz and Jack, where we interpret the news so you don't have to.
That's right. Bringing you our own brand of news from right here inside Trinity Avatar 5 days a week for your viewing and listening pleasure and or entertainment. Of course, we hope it's entertaining. Otherwise, what the hell you doing listening to us? I tell you.
They're trying to figure out how quickly we're going to go straight into the gutter.
Well, I think
every
that's
single day. And
what a lot of people tune in
people
for.
Like,
they want to see whether we'll take something and derail it and soapbox the living daylights out of it. But for the record, before we go much further, today is Tuesday, May 23rd, 2017. I want to wish a very happy birthday to a couple of special people out there. Of course, first and foremost is my father. My old man is having a birthday today, so happy birthday to him out there. And of course, our own Marguerite McLean. Marguerite is celebrating a birthday today as well, so happy birthday to Marguerite.
And we also have to say happy birthday to Tazar. Yes, Tazar, who is, we met him at Hobloth, if you don't remember. So he's also one of the forum mods. It's his birthday as well.
Oh, very, very cool.
So very cool. Happy birthday to both of them.
Yeah, speaking of Hobloth, saw a post from Rustic out there, and is that the Dominus that I think it was? That was the
yes,
very
it
first...
is. Yes, the first one to actually pay up is what it is. So he wasn't the first one approved. He was the first one to be approved and paid up.
Very cool.
Whereas my interview keeps on getting bounced and bounced and bounced.
Yeah, well, you know,
when funny.
You don't put everything in the right format and you piss off the moderator.
No. It was in the right format. It was, hey, I know your schedule's open. Sorry, I bounced you again. It's okay. Yeah. It's all good. I mean, my replies were like, smileys and emojis with like me sticking out my
Everything
tongue.
they weren't supposed to be, just because.
No. Otherwise, he would have hit the big red button that says denied, like yours.
Yes, no.
Yours was.
My initial request was turned down only because he's gonna be away for this weekend, and
What?
I just figured
you got rejected, man. Rejected.
Yeah.
I wasn't rejected at all.
reject this, pal. Oh, speaking of the devil, is he?
So
I know he's
if you
in
don't
the
know
room.
what we're talking about,
Is
Yeah,
he?
if you don't know
No,
what
he's
to-
muted. He doesn't even hear us. Okay.
well, he's at work as well.
Yes.
If you don't know what we're talking about, we are talking about Hobloth, which is Hearth of Britannia, Libertines of the Hearth, which is going to be it's a 4-day event that's going to be held on Lord British's property in Austin, Texas in November, and it is going to be an absolute phenomenal adventure is what it is.
Quite possibly the last event to be held at Castleton.
Yes, possibly the last event to be held at Castleton.
Till next year.
Did he say libertarians? Is this going to be some weed
Libertines.
smoking?
Libertines.
Libertines,
Now,
which means we're very, very free thinking.
It would be bad of us to have this notice. Mom dropped that testing 1, 2, 3. Mom dropped this into a Discord. It's Timmy's birthday.
Timmy.
Timmy.
Happy birthday, Timmy.
Happy birthday. Yes, to Temujin out there. Happy birthday to you
Yes.
too, and thank you for that information,
And-
Mom.
And Mom, make sure that he gets the spankings straight from me. And then I think Laz will also like you to give him spankings from him as well.
I think
And
he should
don't
get them
forget
from
the-
everybody in the room. So
Yes,
spankings
absolutely.
from everybody for Timmy. Timmy.
How many?
Oh yeah, hold on.
40.
Just gotta watch that talk and get
Yeah.
Arius all excited and warmed up over here.
He's old.
Yeah, make sure and give them all. And he can't do it the cheesy way by wearing pants when he's receiving those spankings either. Yeah. So, but going back to Hobloth, don't forget hearthofbritannia.com is where you would go to register for it. Click on the registration button at the top corner. Pay attention to that little video. Read over the information beforehand because there are lots of rules. There is a formal interviewing process that everyone has to go through, even if they've
Everyone.
attended other Hobloths.
That's right.
Each Hobloth event is completely different than the one preceding it.
Last year, previous Hobloth attendees got a pass on that, as I recall.
Yes.
But not
and
this year.
don't
Every
forget- yeah,
attendee
yeah.
needs to go through the process, and it's a rather fun process. So
Oh, absolutely.
pay attention to it. Rustic's done a lot of work going into this, and again, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have events like this. One of the better events out there, if not the best event that I've been to.
Oh, it's so much fun.
I mean,
Yeah,
a bunch of
I mean,
days LARPing and living.
You go for the trinkets and stay for the rabble.
That's right. That's right.
So,
So anyway, moving right along today, and now that we've got some Hobloth covered, what do we my tongue is just all messed up today.
I was gonna say what
those word
women
games
like
are
it.
problematic.
Translation.
That's all, folks. Yeah. Where are we gonna start today? I got a topic or two I dropped down there. Of course, Star
Well,
is
there is
still
no
out
stand-up
sick.
corner. Yeah, no stand-up corner. We could cover. Lum still hasn't made an update to what he's working on, but we do have an update from Chris for today.
The
and then
bird.
we can go on. Yeah, the Dippy Bird.
Dippy Bird.
You ready for the Dippy Bird?
I guess.
So today, the Dippy Bird is
it's
reporting that the Dork Store
about the bird.
is still on the mend, but he's still doing lots of star stuff again. So expect low change rate from me today. Low change rate.
Means he's not going to be at the keyboard and making massive sweeping changes today. That's what that says to me.
He's not going to be changing all the systems today. He's going to be doing that tomorrow. And internally, they have the first gold candidate build is in the bag as of this morning. Woohoo! And that's the gold candidate for release 42, which means that they get to work on fixing bugs. Yes, so they can make all those crazy changes they really want to make without screwing everything up. And an extra special thanks to the Attenwood for pulling together the release notes for release 42. You can read those if you are a Dev Plus member, and with only a bit of help and editing from others. And a change just went in to help balance the heat system that is awesome, but currently way overpowered.
Really?
Way overpowered.
Way overpowered.
In caps. That's
How can
right.
it be awesome if it's way overpowered?
Well, generally, a lot of people think that things that are way overpowered are way too awesome.
Well,
No, not me.
I thought he made a comment, wasn't that yesterday, where the halberd build is like awesome.
What, are you referring to the old school UO tank mage with the
Yep.
Halley?
Cereal?
Okay.
The cereal man?
That was my favorite. Then the broadsword.
Nobody can hit you from 2 squares away with a halberd.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, big change that he's also making is, in addition to the focus cost rising with the heat system, the use time will also climb. So as you spam those skills, as you approach the maximum heat, he's going to be making a change to slow it down. Trying to make this enough to slow down super fast spamming, but not so much that is no longer more effective. It's currently set so at 100% heat, it will be around 2.5 times as long to cast, so you do have to have that cooldown. And you can't actually cast at 100% heat, though, so more realistically, this will make max heat stuff take about 120% longer to execute.
You messed with it yesterday, right? It's working all right?
Well, we have to figure out whether or not that's actually been built into the QA server.
I'm going to guess there's another patch today, at least. I know there was a second one yesterday. But again, can't talk about that, Zep, till Thursday.
Oh,
Yeah, we can't openly discuss that
I
on
can't tell
air,
you what I know
unfortunately.
about what's going on with it and what's not going on with it because it's QA. But yes, I can say I have played with it. I don't know. Jack, did you finally actually get a chance to play with it?
You know what? I don't like the design of the heat system, so I have not experimented with it.
Gotcha.
And I'm trying to figure out why this song is.
I don't know. I'm not hearing
sucks.
anything.
Well, fine. Be that way.
Yeah. It's all I was hearing was game music, so
Okay.
I turned it down because it was way too loud.
Let's have a little American Pie.
You pie.
I love pie.
Stick it in your pie hole.
Stick it in your pie hole right here.
Scrotum's here.
So, where else are we going today? I mean, because we're light on news just because we know internally
Actually,
that we're
there's
working on
I posted a couple things right up top
well,
there.
besides the Ariana Grande concert bombing in Manchester, which is very unfortunate, and my condolences to everyone
Yes,
that's affected by that.
sick people out there in the world, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Wait.
why would you?
What did you post?
What did I post?
Oh, wait. Mailbox features.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Mailbox
Is that public
features.
information? Or did you want to go over that story-related article that I posted last night?
The story about story? Yeah, the story about words?
Writing. Words. Yes.
Yeah, words. We'll get to that in a minute. I think Redfish has some interesting details here. And with the advent of, we know they're working on the mail system, he poses some good questions. So I figured it would be great for us to cover what we can on this, so we can get some feedback from the boys and girls out there on...
This is in the wish list features, or wish list requests on the forums.
That is correct.
So it is not official information. We can't really talk about what we know about the mailbox system that's going to be in release 42, but it's just the first little bit of it, and I can't go more without.
Well, that's why I brought this up, because he has a whole bunch of stuff on, and a bunch of really great questions that we may or may not be able to answer based on information already given. So.
One of the bits of information that was given out already was that players will actually be able to have mailboxes on their lots. And so the first wish list is going to be, will we be able to deposit items directly into a player's mailbox, or will the game require something to be sent to one?
Junk mail, that's what I'm talking about.
That's a good question.
I think that would be nice. That way you can do a drive-by someone's mailbox and drop some coal or other presents, some corn, maybe.
Well, I believe that's going to help with a couple things, if that's the case. Of course, I know somebody wanted to start a newspaper a while back, and you would actually now be able to physically deliver newspapers to mailboxes, hopefully.
If you also look at this next thing, this next request is, will we be able to set up a guild mailing list? This would serve the purpose of newsletters. So, for instance, we could send out a monthly newsletter that every guild member receives a copy of in his personal mailbox. This would be an ideal way for some guilds to communicate. Permissions could be able to set on mailing list access. That also could be extended to the idea of, hey, here's a volunteer newsletter. Would you like your name attached to it? And so that way it all gets CC'd to everybody. Then will we only have personal mailboxes, or a shared guild mailbox also a possibility? Well, for things like newsletters, things being sent to personal mailboxes is the ideal. There might be letters and items of interest for either the whole guild or for guild officers. Guild mailboxes can be set up with permissions to limit the amount of players accessing it. What's your opinion on a full guild having like a mailbox?
Well, I think it's something sorely needed. I know that
I
we've
like
asked
it for
a guild message of the day that can be posted, so that when guild members log in, they get the latest message from the guild master. It'll be great for guilds and officers to be able to share information with the guildies as they get it in real time. Again, so when they log in, they get the latest, greatest. They don't have to, go through the grapevine, as it may be. I think that's a great proposal.
Oh yeah. It would also be a great way for some guilds to do some guild-wide talking smack to other guilds. I don't know how that would be abused. And then, will we be able to package items for players to do jobs for us? So one of the things that we had early on was the player-created postal service. And
indeed,
then from there, then that was extended to delivering mail as an in-game quest. And so I wonder if they're going to tie deliveries to people doing those actual quests. So if someone hasn't done the Owl's Head mail delivery, people in Owl's Head won't receive their mail. And so that incentivizes people to actually go through and run those quests, even though it is only like 100 gold. They don't get to actually look at the packages or anything like that. But what? I think it'd be kind of cool.
You have to quest in order to get mail? No, that you'd have people screaming left and right on that. Come on. I've been carrying around the same mail package for 3 months, for crying out loud. I mean,
well, it's not. It wouldn't be individual. It'd be like someone runs the mail from one town to another, and then everybody that's in that pickup would have their mail delivered. I'm just trying to think of a way to get people to participate in the mail delivery quest.
Yeah. Let's see what happens.
The Fighter runs away from everybody else and goes straight to
don't get through to somebody you're sending.
They don't have access to your mail, and it would happen. It would get delivered. So he extends that with, we could package an item for a blacksmith to repair. Potentially, you could set it up with a contract window that arranges the terms of the repair or some deposit fee. Will the mailbox have storage limits? Most likely. And then bulletin boards. You ready for the bulletin board discussion?
Bulletin boards. Now, that was something that's also been on the wish list, but I don't believe we've heard any mention of that coming in as of yet.
Well,
but of course,
I would
wish
click
list.
over on that tab that says release 42 notes, but I wouldn't be able to read that on air. Now I lost my tab.
Wish list.
Where was I?
You're at bulletin boards.
Okay, bulletin boards. Okay, in NPC towns, will they be placed in an area where you want players to congregate? Like in front of a tavern or crafting stations or inns? Placing them near taverns or similar hotspots makes it easier for players to find parties or in groups to go on adventures, as well as bringing them closer to player activities and roleplay in the taverns. I think someone's trying to tell us to move it right
No, I think somebody's just having too much fun out there. I gotta keep switching scenes so that people can see this. And this avatar who just ran up there, Elmara, is sitting there scratching her head, going, "What the hell's going on up here?" There's a bunch of people sitting
trying
around,
to tell you to move it right along.
There's some cows waiting in
all
line to
those
speak
cows,
to Lazarus.
I think they want you to milk them.
Holy
I think that's what it is.
Is that what it is?
They're lined up for you to milk the cows.
Me first.
Hey, Led Zepp, I'll let you go ahead and take that.
Oh, you're gonna sit in Led Zepp's seat?
No, I was just gonna stand there. You know, I'm not gonna sit. in that seat.
You're just giving up your seat for Led Zepp to sit in it?
Not milking nobody.
So, bulletin boards, will they be available for POTs? Guild houses, I think that answer should definitely be yes. Will they be set up so players who live in a town or region get some type of priority access or monetary discount on putting up posts? If you own property in a region, you should have higher priority than someone outside. I like that.
I don't know about that. Bulletin board's a bulletin board's a bulletin board. You know, first come, first serve. You know, I mean,
well,
I know you've walked into at least a half a dozen venues where somebody had one of them business card pin-up boards sitting there, and how many times you ever see somebody take somebody else's card down to put up another card? I mean, I've seen it happen. Yeah.
That was back in the 80s. That was a while ago.
Yeah, still out there in the world today. I mean, I've seen several places with that still in use. But,
my favorite is the insurance agent who every time he gets gas, he puts his card in the credit card machine. And he only puts $5 of gas in at a time, so he's always getting gas and distributing more cards.
Yep.
Oh wait, that's a friend of mine.
I would just put them on the counter at the gas station and go, hey. Very simple.
Yeah. Well, it also tells the people, next person in getting gas, that he's a local as well. Mini versions of bulletin boards, aka the notice boards, those that you can hang up on a wall outside your shop.
You mean
it would
like
serve an
the
important
outhouse?
purpose? Like the outhouse,
Yeah,
yes.
see, I'm still waiting to be able to post, place letters and stuff, and I know they're fighting it, but why can't we put stuff on, why can't we put art in the outside of our house? Why do they not want us to put paintings outside of our houses?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
don't get it. If I want to put my Shroud avatar proudly right on the front of my house to show the world, I have a pretty piece of art. I want to put it on the front of my house.
Yep. You know what I want to do?
What do you want to do? What do you want to do today,
I want to decorate the walls of my outhouse so that way I can have something to read while I'm sitting down.
I figured it would be great in passing, especially if you had them in your POT. As people were traveling by, and you'd be able to tack a note to an outhouse or something like that. Take the, what do you call them? The stalls, the vendor stalls. If you had a vendor stall out there, you'd be able to pin them to the post of the vendor stall. Looking for, want to buy, want to sell.
Yep.
Wait, is that what we call cow tipping? Ooh, that cow just got back up.
We call it something.
Dead cow disease.
Call it something.
What the?
I'd like to see the grass on our
Yeah,
yards.
well, I'm just watching some cows get resurrected here. I mean, that was just...
well, I mean, you know what? They're undead cows.
Yes. That is probably one of the weirdest things I've ever seen, is cows dying, cows getting resurrected, and walking off to pasture. And you saw it right here,
day,
folks.
They're having a field day.
I tell you. Go follow those cows around and mark those mushroom locations, Zep. We'll go out after the rain.
Yep.
Moving right along. You want to talk about some words?
It's what?
You want to talk about some words?
Some words.
Or you want to hit the?
Yeah. Let's talk about words.
The Elasticsearch query site that we got out there as well.
We'll do that one after.
Okay.
We talk about words.
We're going to talk about some words. So, just for a brief reminder.
Now, the way that I was introduced to this was by Lum, because I follow Lum on Facebook, and occasionally he catches a lot of grief about the writing in game, and I will tell you that writing for a video game is extremely difficult. Writing dialogue, even in a novel, is extremely difficult because it is an unnatural process. The way that you speak to each other is not the way that you write dialogue. And so it requires a lot of thought, a lot of revision, and it's like, where do you go with way too much information?
Edit.
Well,
clip it.
The real question is, do they have enough time to do all the edits?
All of the above.
Yes. And so this is a generalized article by Jeff Vogel, where he's talking about his career and what he sees as way too many words in video games. He spent his whole career writing very story-heavy games. He works at Spiderweb Software. They can't afford fancy graphics, and so they have to rely on words, interesting quality words. Yeah.
Now, I read the article, and I got to tell you, some of the numbers in here really were quite astounding when you really think about how many words go into a game? I mean, when you just think about the game we're in right now and all the text that each NPC has, how many different keywords they respond to. Yeah, that's a staggering number. But go ahead with the rest of this, because there's some great stuff in this article, including my favorite, how to get free words.
Yes, the how to get free words is awesome. So a decently sized novel has about 100,000 words. The Bible, on the other hand, has 1 million words. His most wordy game is Avernum 3, which he's in the process of remastering, had about 200,000 words. And people talk about how very many words it had, yet by current standards, it's very terse, which means it's lacking in verbiage. In comparison, some of the best written RPGs in recent times, aka The Witcher 3, had 450,000 words. And for most people, a well-written game means it has a really good storyline. And many other storylines that were basically okay.
Now, I like what he has to say later on down here, because that just killed me. And because that's me right across the board.
Yes, we'll get to your playstyle in just a minute. The word continues with Divinity Original Sin had a mere 350,000 words. Tyranny had 600,000 words, telling the story of how to become the world's most evil middle manager on a bold quest to try to tear apart the game's 73 factions. And this is positively tongue-tied next to Torment, Tides of Numenera, whatever, with 1.2 million words.
Wait, what was that last part?
Torment, Tides of Numenera has 1.2 million words.
Bible trumpet.
Shroud of the Avatar, last I heard, had about 1.5 million words.
Half of them are on the NBNN site.
Half of them are on the NBNN site, and they include what the fuck is going on around here.
There's a lot more words in our vocabulary than there are.
Yes. So Vogel, remember, he's the author of this article.
Vogel's Laws of Video Game Storytelling. I love this.
Yes.
I love this.
Yes. Number 1, players will forgive your game for having a good story as long as you allow them to ignore it.
Right here. That's right here.
That is lots of people around here. When people say that a video game has a good story, they mean that it really has a story.
Right here.
And the story from most all video games is, see that guy over there? That guy's bad. Kill that guy.
Kill that guy.
He deserves
That's what I'm talking about. Yep.
And this almost never leads to a good story.
That's right. I want to kill. I want to kill. Don't care about no damn storyline. Like somebody over there.
What are you talking about?
Where's List?
Who are you talking about?
Where's List at?
The storyline's not finished yet. They got so much storyline to write.
That's right. Major quest lines.
That's why you just put in a quest that makes the player write a story.
Well, absolutely, but we're not finished with the article.
Cover
the article goes on to much more good stuff, but I love Vogel's number one law. Players will forgive your game for having a good story, as long as you allow them to ignore it. That's right.
What I think, like, the sandbox that most of us came from, Ultima Online, didn't have any story. I mean, most of us were familiar with the Ultima universe, and so we were familiar with all the virtues and everything else, but there was no real questing in that game.
Sure there was. You had to go visit all the different shrines to get all the different stuff, and
you're talking about the games, not UO.
Led Zepp once naked pics of you in his hand.
I remember having to visit
Yeah,
shrines
no,
in
too many words, man. When you naked pictures.
I mean, maybe that was just me. Not that I did it a lot, but they were there to go be visited and follow.
You did something with them.
I usually just went there to res, but that's another story.
Yeah, that's pretty much why I went to them. Occasionally I'd say Om. Yes, and so Vogel also had some observation about words in video games. There was a big demand for games like Baldur's Gate and Planescape Torment.
Baldur's Gate, jeez.
Yeah.
Going back.
That is old school icon-based role-playing games with big stories told in lots and lots of words. Early hits like Divinity Original Sin and Pillars of Eternity made a lot of money off that demand. Sales of later games in the style like Tyranny and Torment and Tides of Numenera suggests that this demand has largely been satisfied. It's really easy to make words. Really, really, really easy. Any writer with half a grain of skill can spill out 500,000 words like it's nothing. And I will say that is absolutely true. It is easy to churn out a crap ton of crap dialogue. And if that writer's fingers get tired and in turn with aspirations of authorhood will chip in 100,000 or more words, and when that intern passes out, you can let your Kickstarter backers add words to your game, and they will pay you for the privilege.
Pay you for the privilege to write your words. I love it.
You too can write a quest in this game for the low fee of
$50.
Yes. And then he's like, no, really, think about that last point. People will pay you to be able to write for your game. Adding words to your game has negative cost.
That's right.
The only problem is you have to get through and re-edit it and make sure it follows storyline and some other things for that.
Make sure you
giant
visit
word
your
counts really don't
apothecary if it
matter.
lasts more than 4 hours.
Yeah. The secret of great writing is not adding words, it's cutting them.
Clip,
It is
snip,
reducing the number of words. It is shortening that dialogue, because what happens when you get to that wall of text?
I'm so confused.
You start clicking around. I will admit, I have done this for a few dozen quests, even in Shroud of the Avatar, where it's like click, 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 click.
Well, they're not finished.
Not reading a single
They're
word.
not finished. That's why.
And then the NPC is like, I don't understand what you're talking about.
You're just waiting for it to finish.
Valid.
That's all. Then you'll do it.
Yes.
What's
So
your name,
the hard
NPC?
part about writing.
What's a name?
I have no name. I am not named yet. Meow.
Name names. You'll name names.
Yes.
I'm just a
But
kid,
you also have to
silly.
remember, every single NPC in this game you're going to be able to have a dialogue with, and they will respond to all kinds of different keywords. Excuse me.
One of my favorites is you have a conversation with a little kid's over in Sultan, and he's got a keyword of buy. You click on buy, and he goes, I'm just a kid, silly. I don't have anything to sell.
Can I get an NPC tag so that I can like stand around in a town and pretend to be an NPC and give like better answers?
Winfield tells a good story about that back in the UO days. Winfield was
His fish story?
well,
not that again.
after the fish story, where he went around playing an NPC, and he just, people really didn't know whether he was an actual character or an NPC because he just sat there and played an NPC.
Nice.
Well, it's kind of like how, like, early on, I was running around with the Elven armor on, and the original Elven armor that you could get by the Stretch Goal store, which is no longer available, is the exact same armor that the elves in-game wear, and especially the heavy armor. And so I would actually have players trying to come up and hit me, even though I didn't have a PvP tag on.
Now, I can't tell you how many times I know I've been mistaken for an NPC because I'll stand
Well,
there.
that's because we're standing on the lot.
Well, I'll be standing in Sultan near the bank right by Ashton there. Yeah,
Yes.
so I'm just standing there, with the smoke in the pipe, and I watch people come up to, and you know what they're doing. They run right up to you and they click on you, trying to figure out whether you got something to say to them.
Do you respond with "Don't touch me" there?
I haven't pulled one of those yet.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was
Usually
gonna
it
say.
just surprises the living daylights out of them when I say hello, and they're like, "What? Oh, you're a person? Oh, okay, hi."
I'm sorry.
That's the difference between Jack and Laz. When they come up thinking Jack's an NPC, they try to hit him. When they come up thinking Laz is an NPC, they try to hit on.
For some reason, it is a common response, and I don't know why.
Yeah,
I
well.
think it's because, yeah.
It's the shirt. The shirt's friendly. What can I say?
What? The shirt?
No,
What about the shirt?
This shirt. Yeah, I'm wearing the same other shirt.
Oh.
See,
Oh, yeah.
you got to
I
wear
can
the
grab
red
like
floral
one of my
shirt
half
in
dozen
town.
Hawaiian shirts as well. Yes. So the secret of great writing really is reducing dialogue and trying to make sure that it's directed to the point, which is very hard. I know that I am a verbose person, and I
Jack
like
has
to
a master's
over-explain
in
things.
bullshit.
Just
Yes.
do what Disney does and copy and paste.
That too.
Hey now.
Yes.
Awesome.
The next observation is that when a writer gets famous, they stop being edited. Well, they also get paid for the number of words.
True.
That is why the fifth Harry Potter book is 900 pages, in which only like 2 things happen. It's also why a game in 2017 is written by a big name and has a script with a bajillion words. They're also paid by the number of words that they provide.
Word.
Yes, there are well-written games like Fallout New Vegas and Witcher 3 are solid. Baldur's Gate, Planescape were all right, but he played those 20 years ago, and a lot of it is nostalgia. And we all have twisted memories of what we actually remember. Sturgeon Law is in play here, which is 90% of everything is crap.
Crap.
I might want to say that's like 95, 97, 98, 99% of everything is crap. Where they had a cool setting and story idea and really put the time to write good text and have it interface with the gameplay well. There have been 9 other games where they just threw up a bunch of Tolkien light, kill that bad guy stuff, and hoped it stuck. It didn't.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yep. Having lots of lore in your game is okay. Some players really like lore, but then a lot of players really don't. They don't care about it because they don't really get into it. What?
What's the history of your town? Don't know. I'm busy keeping up with the history in my town.
Yeah.
The point
And
of
so
lore
if you-
is to give a reason to keep paying the writer when they're not writing other stuff. When they're not doing
Yeah,
quests.
that's not true. I mean, just take
Well,
Longfall, for instance. Now, Longfall was named after Lazarus because that's where he fell through the rift out in Blood River. So it was hence named Longfall.
Yeah, not even. That's Laz's interpretation of Longfall.
I'll believe it for
You
2000.
know how many people believe that as truth now? That's how
2,
you get
maybe?
lore.
2 people?
One.
Yeah.
Oh, 1, and it's only Laz.
Cooper's Pass.
Me.
Okay. Which is no
How
longer on
is lore
Sodomap.
developed? We make our own.
Yes, Cooper's Pass is no longer on Sodomap. By the way.
Yes.
But then,
What?
so Skyrim put a bunch of stuff inside of text that can easily be ignored by a lot of players. World of Warcraft has their quest windows did this perfectly. All the lore was in one lump. You mean dwarves like to dig mines? Whoa! And the actual text of the quest, kill 10 goblin toddlers, was broken out so you could digest it quickly. I never played WoW, so I couldn't tell you what that quest interface is like.
I
And
was one
humor,
of those that actually read it.
yes, humor is
That's
very
hard.
hard to write well. Humor really is hard to write because you don't know whether or not you are flying a joke 1,000 feet over someone's head or whether or not it doesn't fit the situation.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Got to bring back Duke Nukem.
Kill. I want to kill. Aren't they making a movie of that?
I have no idea.
Is,
But they have to have Ash do the voice.
I thought I heard wind of a Nukem movie coming out.
It's like Duke
You heard
Nukem
some
forever.
wind.
I don't know. Either there was if something along the lines of there was a rewrite of the game coming out and talk of doing a movie with it. I don't know.
Yes. The ultimate goal of writing in a game is have it be good enough that the getting past the gameplay to reach the writing is your goal. Your writing should be the reward. If the writing is something the player has to slog through to get to the gameplay, then there's too much writing.
Too much writing.
Yeah. Every game he's written has had lots of words. Some really liked them, some really didn't. The hard part is, you know what? Writing is hard. Writing is
The
hard.
Deco
hard.
divas say the same thing about furniture on studios.
Well,
There's too
Well,
much of it. Then.
Our lots were not decorated by the Deco Divas, by the way, and if they have already disowned us and disavowed us for our decorating ability on the NBNN studios. What?
Yeah, well, that too.
Led Zeppelin
That
says
too.
that was a waste of 40
Stainless
minutes.
steel.
God, and he spells it WAIST. So
All right.
I had to correct him. Yeah. Word.
Yeah, word.
Word.
Words.
Word.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's eat, kids.
It's pretty funny.
And
It's
let's
pretty funny
eat
when you're
kids.
correcting someone's spelling.
Yeah.
Time to eat, kids.
Moving right along. Thank you. Move on.
Yes. So as much shit as I give Lum, yes, I know writing is hard.
Yes. Yeah. Well, especially when you have to write the program to do the writing. Yeah.
And support it internally, and then work on
Make
new
sure
Quest
it
guy,
works
and tried.
with every update
Yes.
of Unity that they throw at them. Absolutely.
Well, that and it's writing interesting dialogue to where you actually feel something for the characters and you want to help them. That is an extremely difficult
Hey,
process.
you know what? I'm not helping nobody no more. You know, I paid somebody's rent, and now I got screwed for helping some poor sap out by paying their rent. You know, in the storyline.
You paid him 500 gold for the rent, and then you received 1,500 XP or something like that.
You mean, and the Oracle told me I'm screwed because I helped him this month, and now what is he gonna do? And ding my karma the whole
See, I never
works.
talked to the Oracle
Yeah,
after
well,
that. So, yeah.
Be careful of those damn quests out there, because you may think you're helping somebody, but that's not the way the Oracle thinks, I tell you. But anyway,
Well, you know, someone was playing a certain song
I
until
can't
they
hear
walked
nothing,
away,
no,
and then they
because
canceled it.
there's- Yeah, nothing's working.
You know what? I got undressed for your song, Scroda.
Well.
And so for those
now
of you
I
who
have
are
to
wondering
stop. Now
why
I'm just
Jack
dancing
is
by
naked,
myself.
gyrating in the middle of the screen, I have no clue, so you know.
Well, that's because you didn't hear Scroda playing the song.
Well, I
Because
don't think
my
anybody heard
attention-
Scroda playing this song.
I heard Scroda playing the song. People on my stream heard Scroda playing the song.
But it's that time. Moving right along.
That's my magic.
Hey guys,
Yes.
Yes.
I got a quick Hobloth 4 announcement if you guys got a spare minute.
Oh, where were you at the beginning of the show when we spent 20 minutes on Hobloth, for crying out loud? No.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't here yet.
We know.
Working.
What you got for us?
So at 2:25 Central Time, Nude Britannia time, the post is going to go live. But I'm going to give you guys the exclusive because I love you guys.
Oh, we love you too, Rusty.
So Hobloth 4 will be the last Hobloth for a long time. Basically, I want to get the cookbook done, and I had to put the cookbook on the back burner to run the event because trying to work full-time and run an event at the same time is way worse than I ever imagined. So after Hobloth 4 is over, there will be no Hobloth or major events until the cookbook is finished and in people's hands, which could be anywhere between 1 to 3 or 4 years.
Well, there you have it. But of course, I think there are a lot of people out there chomping at the bit, waiting for this cookbook project to be done. So I don't think anybody's going to argue that point, that's for sure.
Indeed. And the moral of the story is, don't miss Hobloth 4. It will be the last one at Richard's property.
There you go. You heard it here first, folks. So this is going to be the last big shebang over at Castleton. And again, it's going to be an event not to be missed. This will be the event that people will be talking about 20 years from now. Telling their children about the day Rustic was running around in the dry sack and it fell off.
Oh, yeah. The dry sack.
Oh, God.
That's right. You don't want to miss before, do you?
Huh?
Yeah.
So that's something you don't want to miss, or do.
That's right.
You don't want to miss it.
But moving right along, let's go ahead and get the community calendar added away.
Community calendar is available on the Soda app, which is available on all of your electronic devices. Just go to the appropriate store, the Google Play Store, the Apple iTunes Store, or the Amazon App Store. All of those just have the NBNN app, which has all the best links to everything Shroud of the Avatar related, including the community calendar, which is on NBNN.info. It is an aggregate of all of the available public calendars that Laz has been told about. And if your calendar is not there and you want it added, make sure that it is a Google public calendar and it is set to public, not private.
Public.
And just email news@nbnn.info, and eventually that guy will get that added up on the calendar, and then we will get to read it every single day, or Monday through Friday, for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Out there, get them on the calendar, get them over to me, and we'll get it out there so people know what's going on in your world.
Yes. And we're still looking for submissions to the NBNN calendar. Don't forget to send those pictures to nudes@nbnn.info, and we will make sure and collate and categorize those properly.
Now, of course, just to let everybody know, we're not asking you to take off your clothes and take a picture of your junk. That's not what we're talking about here.
Why not?
Of course, you know, Scroda won't mind if he has to sort through those to
undo
the proper calendar on.
It's no problem.
We are asking for provocative poses and nudes from inside the game. So what the kind of things can you do with your character that are calendar worthy? That's what we're looking for.
I can do things you would never.
Well, submit them because it'll probably make the calendar.
And don't forget, all times on the community calendar are Central Standard Time in the real world, but we prefer to refer to it as Nude Britannia time.
Nude Britannia time.
Yes, today at 12 and 6 around the clock, two idiots on WRFB.
WRFB.
They interpret the news so you don't have to on a show called Lunch with Laz and Jack.
That's right.
Idiots.
At 1:30 this afternoon, Violations doing the Tech Talk Tuesday with the Tech Lord Chris.
Now,
which means they'll probably be talking about
comment
the
real quick. I saw a tweet that said this was happening at 1 p.m., which should be immediately following our show.
Oh, okay.
Whichever it is, we will go ahead and host that stream so that you guys will be able to see that immediately after our show today. So if that happens, we will have it here.
Okay. At 2 o'clock, Sean Silverfoot is doing the Paxlayer Town Manager Hour. If you're interested in any of the Paxlayer boroughs of towns, just talk with Sean Silverfoot and he'll get you set up and pointed in the right direction. At 3 p.m., the EVL Guild is having a dungeon crawl for those people in Europe or European time zone friendly. This one begins on the overworld map outside of Owl's Head. The person to contact for more information is Wintermute Offcoff. At 7 p.m., another EVL Monster Mash dungeon run. This also starting in the overworld map outside of Owl's Head. And the dungeon master for this one is Zenny.
Zeni.
Yeah.
Great Zeni.
If that's not your thing and you'd much rather go spend a hour to few hours going through Chilblain's Compendium of Pain and Suffering in the town of Braemar, you need to whisper Malhari for more information and join the Jade Dragons. At 7 p.m. on WRFB. The 70s at 7. At 10 p.m. on Avatar's Radio, Temper Tantrum T-Days. And the final event of the evening in Shroud of the Avatar is going to be on WRFB. And that's the Record Room.
Radio.
And that's our community calendar for May 23rd in Shroud of the Avatar.
Shroud of the Avatar. Yeah. Just don't be avatarded, kids. D-bad. Don't be a dick. That's right.
Yeah.
And of course, brings us to that time of the day we usually thank our sponsors. But let's talk about the Novian Lottery. Novian Lottery is our latest sponsor. ASO Wonder out there. Again, congratulations to you and Sephora for the nuptials there on Sunday. And he's changing it up just a little bit more, folks, as he's added twice as many tickets. He's cut the cost of the lottery so more people can get involved. And the lottery is going to include prizes that will now roll over if they are not claimed.
The growing jackpot.
Yes, rolling jackpots are now going to be introduced so that if a jackpot is not claimed, it will go into the next week's lottery. So, all sorts of fun stuff going on for the Novia Lottery. You can go out to Minewint. Am I pronouncing that? Minewint, which is smack in the center of the map, just a little west of Brittany. And of course, if you need more information, go out to novialottery.com and you will be able to get all the latest information there from ASO Wonder running the lottery out there. Of course, the Airy Fund is running a player-run art contest out there on the forums. I don't have a link available. We'll get that out to you guys tomorrow. And don't forget to check that out on the forums. Thex, do you have a moment on that one? You here finally? I know I saw a message.
Just working or something. I don't know.
He's a busy man. He's a busy man. He's not here in the room. All right. And of course, don't forget SodaCon Austin 2017. SodaCon Austin happening the month before Hobluck, but of course, it's going to be an interesting couple months down in Austin this year, so don't forget to get your travel plans together, get that PTO taken care of, as my girl would tell me, and get your travel plans ready, because this fall in Austin, it's going to be some hot action going on down there. You're not going to want to miss SodaCon. You're not going to want to miss Hobloth. And, of course, you're not going to want to miss hanging out and shooting the shit with your fellow avatars. All sorts of great stuff happening. All sorts of great stuff. But meanwhile, I want to just thank all the rest of our sponsors out there today while I'm working on a new solution to getting these sponsors rolling up on the screen because it's such a pain in the butt with all our sponsors out there. But we're going to give Jack the last word here, of course, and tell you about our good folks and friends over at the Shroud Marketplace, where you, too, can open your own shop and sell all your virtual vendable goods.
You can be like the latest vendor, ASO's Wonders. ASO has registered as a vendor. He hasn't put anything up for sale yet, but he has registered, and I expect he'll be adding items onto the marketplace soon.
ASO's Wonders. Yeah. That's too funny. ASO Wonders.
Yes.
Play on words.
Don't forget, anything game related can be bought or sold on Shroud Marketplace. Just like that mounted dragon head, we've been having some discussions about the drop rate, and I know some people that talked about they've slain 450 dragons, and out of those 450, they've only received like 5 heads. So that's about a 1 in 100 drop rate for the dragon head. So if you want your own dragon head, don't forget it's going to be enlarged in the next
reduced
patch.
Price and enlarged.
Yes.
Yeah, we can't talk about that.
Yes. No. Don't forget anything can be bought.
Head, yes.
Yes. Anything can be bought or sold on Shroud Marketplace, from Game Gold, from the various vendors selling that, to Crowns of the Obsidian, all the way to accounts, services, items of all kinds. Don't forget to visit all of the different vendors, see what they've got out for sale. If you're interested in selling something, don't forget you can always register as a vendor. Just click on the registration button and then click on the vendor registration button. Name your store whatever you want to. Make sure people can find you.
That's right.
Yes.
And of course,
that means it's time first.
Yes.
Of course, what?
We gotta thank you guys because we're
thank
running
the most
late
important
again.
people around here. I'm on time. Don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you think you're on time. We're already a minute over time, whether you think you're on time or not.
Now we're a minute over time. It's all your fault. You disrupted me.
But yes, thank you guys for listening. Thank you all for tuning in. We love you guys. And of course, we love doing what we do. We love this shit here on NBNN and bringing it to you live on WRFB Radio Free Britannia. But we're going to wrap it up and get out of here till tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have some release notes we can talk about. Till then, I'm Lass.
I'm Jack.
And we are NBNN. Stay tuned for more news, sports, entertainment, crazy wild happenings. The latest hijinks and shenanigans right here inside Shrouded Avatar. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you all tomorrow.
I don't know if you noticed, but Scroto was blowing Led Zepp.
No.
Yeah, he was blowing him in game.
That wasn't me.
Okay, Scroto.